live. Yeah, we going live. Hey, we going live. Yeah, we going live. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
All right, now we know this is your guy. We know that Fitzmagic is. We know that Fitzmagic is your guy. And we heard, first it was just reported, that the Dolphins were going to move on from Fitzpatrick and start Tua Tagovailoa. But to see him honestly come out and tell how he felt about it made me feel horrible. Because you know what my take was. Fitzpatrick is a serviceable quarterback. To your point, game manager.
Yeah.
He's a serviceable quarterback who can get you some wins, and then at some point, for whatever reason, he flames out. Right? And we've seen it at a few different destinations. But he's in year 17 and he's still, throwing the ball around the yard. And so for the Dolphins for the first time in years to be in contention for this division, to have them say, we're going to look to the future now. One was disheartening to him because he's actually playing well.
He's still in the throws, not in the flames.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but not just to him, to the veterans in that locker room.
Yeah.
What you're saying is right now doesn't mean much to us. Unless, because we saw a situation like this a few years ago. Unless Tua is Mahomes, this is a horrible move.
Okay, so I'm going to ask, you think Tua is Mahomes?
I don't know, but they must think he is.
Is that
in order for them to make this move? And obviously they're looking towards the future. But
you've got right now.
I can't ration. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said right now, if they're making this move, they would have to believe that Tua is Mahomes.
Or they chucking the season.
I can't believe that they're that stupid. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that they're that stupid.
It's one of the two.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
That's why I feel like they have to really, really believe in Tua. Because
and then
Alex Smith was the guy. Like, I guess some people would call him a game manager too, but he's mobile. He can make throws. You know what I'm saying? He can make all the throws. And Patrick Mahomes was just too great of a talent to deny. And so they were like, all right, after the season's over with. But even they waited till after the season was over.
Exactly. That's my point. In the midst of being in a winning season.
Right. For the first time.
He's playing in God knows how long. And then you've got, you'll use your words, a serviceable quarterback who is getting it done. You don't make that switch unless he is, what you said, flaming out. You just don't. I don't care how good Tua is or how good you think he is. Even if you said in some of these games, we're just going to put him in a little bit, but Fitzpatrick's still going to be our starter until to just get his feet wet. But to throw him, and this is, if Tua is not Patrick Mahomes, this is a career killer type scenario for him. Yeah. Because they throw you out there and you suck.
And you start losing games. And you got
to come back. That's on the coach that you would allow that.
Yeah.
Yes. That's on the coach at that point. And I'm talking about Tua in his mental. Yeah. After you see what they've been doing, and then you come and you wreck the whole season because you're not ready.
It would have cost them nothing to ride out Fitzpatrick to however much he can give you and then switch to Tua. It would have cost them nothing.
Right.
Now, what it costs you now is if Tua flames out and he's not good, not only will that fan base turn on them, but that locker room's going to turn on them.
And if I'm Ryan Fitzpatrick, don't ask me to do jack. I'm going to just go sit down over here.
Right.
Collect my check. I'm good.
He's the type of quarterback you can always go back to him and it won't affect
and that's
him.
Not fair.
It's not certainly not fair. It's certainly not fair. I think it was a horrible move, and I don't know if the GM made it or if the head coach made it, because you do have the pressure of that. Yeah. Because the GM, like, we drafted him number 5. See, yeah, same thing happened to me. Yeah. We drafted him number 5 overall. We wanted him to play.
Yeah.
And sometimes the head coach just has to be in agreement with that just because. But this is an interesting for Robert Flores. This is an interesting decision he made.
Yeah, I'm not with it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and it's not just because I love Fitzpatrick. It's because he my cousin and all, but that's not why. It is literally just not a smart business football decision. Yeah. To me, just not. I mean, and then that means this goes back to your point about leadership too. Then you're going to want Ryan Fitzpatrick to kind of help this person, help Tua. Really. I mean, I know everybody understands that it's a business, and the risk is always there, but I'm still just not feeling. Yeah. 2 thumbs down for me on this. Y'all, that was bad.
I wish I had more hands.
Right. That was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. OBJ. We got a lot to talk about with OBJ today. So do you want to start with, I was going to say the good or the bad. I don't think there is.
Is there some good? Yeah, I was like, what's the good? I'm sorry.
There's no good.
Okay.
You want to start at the worst?
It's a worst? I don't know that there's that either.
Oh,
it's all bad.
It's a worst.
It's a worst? Okay, we'll start at the, okay. Start at the worst.
OBJ then. Saying that COVID can't enter his body.
Don't just say it like that. Don't just say it like that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. You.
Don't just say it like that. No. Y'all have to understand. This man made it seem like he's made an agreement, like he's having conversations with COVID, and made an agreement, and him and COVID have agreed that it won't enter his body.
I'm trying to defend it.
No, don't you do it.
Indefensible.
I mean, it is. And this is the same thing as who said that? Kirk Cousins, who said something stupid too, like it was that like he just don't feel like he'll get it or something.
Yeah,
like
something
I imagine that was really what OBJ was trying to say. But the way that he said it made it sound like, I said, when I sent this to you, I said, he's taking one too many hits to the head.
I feel like he was saying it in jest.
Did you see his face?
Yeah, I mean, but so.
He had the dead serious face.
He had the dead serious
Jarrett,
face.
Like, I believe that.
I think it was kind of like sarcasm, like.
He was being poetic and saying that he didn't fit. Yeah. Don't do that. Stick to football. Because it sounds like you're crazy. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. All right. So now we also see that LSU has banned him for 2 years. So I believe this means that he can't go to any games or he can't.
Correct. He can't be on campus. He can't do anything in that has to do with the team, with LSU.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
I'm going to tell you why I'm upset about this.
Okay. So one of the reasons that they did this is because he was passing out, $1,000 to the players during the game. Yeah.
This goes back to my issue with the NCAA. Now, we can say the rule is players can't be paid and this, that, and the third. And that's fine. That's the rule. But there are a lot of rules and there are a lot of laws that are unjust. And what I'm not going to do is argue in favor of them, even in the moments where they've been broken. Right? So, even though George Zimmerman didn't use the stand your ground defense in the case against the state of Florida when he murdered Trayvon Martin, people use that to justify his killing of Trayvon Martin.
Correct.
And so, not that it's a terrible law, the interpretation of it is bad.
Right. The way it gets used.
Yes. Yeah. So, I know this is a stretch, but I'm jumping this over into the NCAA and their you cannot be paid in their interpretation of that. Now, obviously, having someone give your parents a home and a car just for you to come to their school is
That's
one
bribery.
thing.
That's bribery. That's what that is. How about that? We talk about it from the federal law. It's bribery.
Right.
Yeah.
But I found out that when I was in undergrad, shout out to Coach Mack. I talk about Coach Mack all the time. Coach Mack would take us to dinner. Coach Mack would have cookouts at his house, and we wouldn't have to pay for anything. That was an NCAA violation. That's ludicrous. Yes.
Yeah, now that's a little far-fetched to me.
Right. So
that's stretching it.
Yeah. So to reach this back to OBJ, him passing out $1,000 bills, I mean, not $1,000 bills, but passing out $1,000 to players. Why is that a violation? Now, he was thumbing his nose at the NCAA. But
That's exactly what that was.
The NCAA needs more people to thumb their nose at them because it's ridiculous.
So would that still be true today? Because that was a few years ago when he did that. And that's where this kind of, I guess I want to call it sentence came from. But would that still be true today now that they're, allowing them to be?
No, because California is the only state that signed that the governor signed that into law in the state. Other states haven't adopted that yet.
Okay. I don't know why I thought the NCAA had come out and said something, but okay.
I vaguely remember them saying something, but I don't think they changed the rule. And so because LSU self-reported violations, this was one of them.
Yeah.
So I don't think the NCAA actually came out and said, hey, you all.
Right.
But I think this was a deal that was made. Okay, ban OBJ, self-report, and, smack yourself on the wrist.
Right. And if you want to get that $1,000, if you still want to get that $1,000 to them kids, Cash App is out there. So y'all ain't stopping nothing.
Right.
You just won't know.
Yeah, exactly.
He just did it in the public, like you said, to kind of snub at the NCAA. But yeah, he could still get them that money if he wanted to. Just so y'all know. I don't know what y'all think. One monkey don't stop no show. That's all I can tell. Okay.
All right, this last one, and I'm gonna make this quick because I don't want us to. This is something that we just added at the end. And before we started, we probably talked about a good 20 minutes about this. OBJ is being reprimanded in the media for his sideline antics, and I talked a little bit about how I felt it was a little unfair because he actually compared himself. Even though he didn't explicitly say Tom Brady, he alluded to Tom Brady also being passionate on the sideline and doing things, or having sideline antics and it being looked at differently. It being looked at as he's just a passionate winner.
Right.
And I just don't think I don't think it's fair. I think I think OBJ has been painted in the media probably on the same level of Antonio Brown.
I don't know if it's that bad, Jim.
Maybe I might be exaggerating.
Yeah,
but I think it's bad. I think we look at it. I think we look at OBJ as if I feel like he's been painted as sort of a criminal in a sense.
I see it more like a diva.
Well, all receivers are divas.
Oh, maybe I didn't say that, y'all.
Maybe. Oh, wait. Who am I offending right now?
I didn't say that. Anyway.
Oh yeah, all the receivers I know are divas. All of them.
Okay.
Yes, UJ boy. Yes, you're the first person that came to mind.
Okay.
But I just we talked about it, and we talked about why one looks different than the other.
Yeah.
And I do feel like race has a part to play in it, because
that was what was funny.
Yeah,
you didn't even think about that.
I didn't. Right. I didn't even think about that being the first thing, because it's
that's societal norms have caused that differentiation that's being made between a Tom Brady and OBJ.
Yeah.
Just because as a white man, it's different. It looks different than what a black man does. It just is. And so that's how society has that's how it's just innately a part of who we are. Now that you didn't even think about that. Like in my head, it's always, well, if a black person needs to do something that a white person does, they got to do it 10 times better. Or in this case, if you do something that a white person does, then it's criticized,
scrutinized.
Yeah. Period.
Yeah.
So my personal opinion is they both need to sit down and stop acting like babies.
Right.
I don't really care which one you
stuff
are.
all on the ground and stuff like that. Like
hit somebody in their throat and then you're gonna be in trouble. So ricocheting helmets and stuff. Okay.
Right.
So but for real, I just for me it's about the character of the person. I don't care about black, white. I don't care about quarterback versus skill player. I don't care about any of that stuff. For me, truly, it is about the character of the person. And so I agree that it's unfair that he's being scrutinized or being depicted differently because of it.
Right.
And I'm sorry I cut you off because you didn't even finish what you were saying. It's not just the black-white thing, but it is at the core of it.
Right.
But for me, it's about your character. Like both of y'all need to understand that there are people watch you, whether you want them to or not. You are celebrity because of what you do. Yeah. And therefore people are watching you. Therefore you automatically, we've had this conversation before, you automatically take on role model status. And so you need to be in a better state than to allow yourself to demonstrate and be demonstrative like that on the sidelines about how you feel.
Right.
Period.
Right. I'm with you.
Period.
Yeah.
You can be the most passionate person. We ain't never seen LeBron pick up a chair and throw it across the room. We saw him lead a court. But that's even to me, I talked about that, right? I got a problem with that because it's not good leadership. It doesn't show your role model character. And so, but he ain't never tantrum like that.
Nah.
So.
He definitely didn't Bobby Knight us.
That man, I'm surprised he didn't hurt somebody. I mean, for real. Like
you know what? His players talk about him glowingly.
Oh no, I know, because they love the passion.
Yeah.
It's just no, sir. You can't. I just
just throwing chairs on the court.
No, sir. No. Or the way you screaming in people's face.
Yeah.
If they like it, I love it. Me, I personally couldn't deal with it. But that's
I told you about my high school coach that was like that.
Yeah.
He walked around practice with a bat.
Bruh, you are not Joe Clark. I'm gonna need you to calm down. So yeah.
I feel like I sent you that clip of him going out there, running out there to our one of our tight ends, my guy, Sean Washington, and when he saw him coming, he ran and jumped and ran.
No, you did not send
that to you. Oh, I'm going to send it to you after.
Oh my Lord! Not he running from the man like that's horrible. See,
but so even with that passion and that fire, and again, rest in peace to Coach Jarrell. I love that man. He would be the first to like big you up. He would call me in his office sometimes, and we would just have life conversations. You know, for him it was more than football. He was interested in raising, you know, good men. And so like you can get that off if I can see that you care about me. And that was never a question with Coach Jarrell.
Right. I get that. I get that. Yeah.
But we done went all the way down the
I know.
rabbit hole.
We're on the rabbit hole. You said we're not gonna do this for long.
You know,
when you said it, I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, all right. Now let's jump over to Giannis though, because I think this is one of those hot button issues right now because of some of the comments that Giannis has made over the years, which I had to go back and think about. Kevin Durant made some of those same comments. And he still went and joined the Warriors. So this actually could have been a Who's Really Right, I believe.
Yeah, it could have.
What do you think Giannis should do with his impending free agency? And not this upcoming year, it'll be the following year. Now, he has some options. He can either sign a Supermax and stay or sign a Supermax extension. Because
it's an extension.
It's an extension. He could wait until the year's over where he'd be a free agency. Where he'd be a free agent.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. And then he could sign a Supermax with the team, which would be more than the extension. Which is the reason why you don't see most people doing that. Or he could force his way out by demanding a trade and saying that he will not sign a Supermax and he would leave in free agency, which would force the Bucks to trade him so that they get equal, or maybe not even equal, but enough value for him. So with all that being said, what do you think he should do?
Oh, I'm clear about this, and I'm glad you brought up KD. Bye. I say listen, they haven't put the pieces around him up till now. Why do you think they're going to magically go ahead and do it? And to your point, when we talked about this in production meeting, it's a small market. The owner's not really trying to pay that money to have these, you know, elite players come play with him. He deserves to be around some elite players.
Yeah.
I feel like he'll grow if he gets around the right people. You know what I mean? Like, his game needs to grow. He can't grow there because they say this is all we need you to do. You know what I mean? And so I feel like he needs to buy. I'm going to see y'all.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and to your point, right, because, you know, after I was talking about this, I disagree. But to your point, I believe that they're trying to make Giannis KD, and he should be Anthony Davis.
I was about to say, that's not his game.
Right.
Yeah.
And so to that point, he needs to be around, he needs someone like a Chris Paul. Or someone to take the scoring load off of him. And someone who could like really run an offense. The offense should not run through Giannis. I don't think so.
No.
But
I feel like him and Russell Westbrook would be amazing together.
That would be, yeah. Did not think about that. I wonder if they could pull that trade off.
Yeah, that would be an amazing. Now they would flourish together.
Yeah. So what I think should happen is he should not sign the Supermax extension. One, because he's not going to get the money, right? But what I do think he should do is I think he should wait until free agency, which puts the Bucks in a bind, but it also holds their feet to the fire. Because what I'm saying to you is, you all are billionaires. Get me some talent around me, or I'm going to walk in free agency.
Yeah.
Now, that could backfire. They could say, we're going to trade you because we just cannot afford to.
We're not going to. Right.
And so, you know, that's a dilemma, but I think you got to force it, right? Don't ask for the trade now. Anthony Davis knew he was leaving. Yeah. Giannis has already said, I want to stay here and make it work in.
Don't do it, sir.
In Milwaukee. But we know about the other big man who forced his way out of Milwaukee and went on to win quite a few championships with the Lakers.
Just saying.
I think for him, because he's repeated that sentiment a few times, like, no, I want to win one in Milwaukee. I'm not one of those.
Get over it.
Runs and
get over it.
Which I felt like was a shot at like a bunch of people. But
I was gonna say, who did he shoot at? Just saying. Yeah.
But I think that's the move. You give yourself a year, you know, because they wouldn't trade him at the trading deadline anyway, or like close to it.
Right.
So you give yourself a year. You see what they're committed to as far as putting pieces around you and what type of moves they're going to make. And then after the year, because you're going to spend at least half your year there anyway.
Yeah.
Then say, all right, I'm gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. That's almost a who's really right, y'all. I don't know. Yeah. You tell me who you are, I believe you. You show me who you are, I believe you. You've already shown me. So.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.